was always science for me. I went through different science paths. I started with chemistry, but it was always science. My name is Andrea Paz. I'm a postdoc at the Crowther Lab, and I'm studying how diversity of trees is distributed across the world, and also how different ecological functions of trees are assembled in different places across the globe. And mostly I want to understand how this assembly of different species of trees might be driven by environments. If we can explain why trees come together in relation to environments, we might be able to understand how this is going to change with changing environments in the future. I grew up in the tropics, and so I was always fascinated by biodiversity and by trying to understand why some places were so diverse. So I was always very interested in the distribution of diversity in the globe. So I did my bachelor's and my master's in biology back in Colombia, where I worked a lot with diversity of frogs from a more local perspective, so doing a lot of field work and looking at genetic variation in different species of frogs. And then I went on to my PhD in the US, where I was working on trying to understand how environments drive diversity patterns for different groups, including frogs, but also plants, butterflies, in the Atlantic forest of Brazil, which is this wonderful forest that goes all across the Atlantic coast of Brazil. Oh, I love the Crowther Lab. It's such a great team to work with, and I love that we can collaborate with so many different people and with so many different backgrounds. I really think it's a place where a lot of cool science can happen. I love traveling, and I also love reading. This is a very hard one. I recently heard one of the COP26 speeches by a Nigerian youth activist, which I thought was incredibly inspiring. Both her work back in her home country, but also the way she was speaking to the global leaders about compassion and about just having to create change. I really loved it.